Hi, I'm Alexandra Lexton. Here we're going to talk about my my current film. It's called Fool's Paradise Lost. And you can follow me on at LexProd on Instagram. And just stay tuned because I've got a story to tell.
It's a program for filmmakers by filmmakers. It's the Breaking Indie Podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Breaking Indie. Today we were with Alexandra Lexton, filmmaker here at the Santa Fe Film Festival. Her film is Fool's Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
Fool's Paradise Lost. Not really about Paradise Lost, though, is it?
No.
It's just it is a clever name. I like it.
Well, it's kind of an amalgam of two different names. Yeah, Fool's Paradise and Paradise Lost.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And this is a documentary film, correct?
Yeah. Feature-length documentary, yeah.
Shot all over the world.
Well,
Shot over a lot of places.
I wish I could have gone all over the world, and then it would have been probably 3 movies. But no, it's shot all over the United States. We shot in Philadelphia and Cape May, New Jersey, all over Northern California, just outside of Gallup for Lila June, Colorado. We were in Telluride, and I can't remember off the top of my head every place. I think that's.
Did you say also Tanzania earlier?
Sun Valley, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were in Tanzania to film Jody McDonald. She's a world-renowned photographer. And we were in Tanzania to film also John Francis, the Planet Walker, and also the Hadzabe tribe who are in the film. And, with actually both these different characters, John Francis and Jody McDonald. But the Hadzabe tribe became, or a couple characters in the Hadzabe tribe became our, kind of the voice of reason here and there. You'd have to see it to get the explanation, but
I see. Well, tell me a little bit about it. What is what is it about, I suppose?
Yeah, it's about how we heal ourselves through reconnection to nature and the symbiotic necessity to heal what is left of the wild, our own inner wild, and the outer wild.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did this come about? For you, how did you get involved with this project, or how did the project find you, so to speak?
Yeah. Well, this is my second documentary, my 4th film as a producer, my 2nd film as a director, writer, producer, cinematographer. And I would say the documentaries kind of land on me. With The Lure of This Land, my last documentary, which had its world premiere at the Mill Valley Film Festival. Same with Fool's Paradise Lost. They both had their world premieres there. Great festival. And for example, with The Lure of This Land, I was in the midst of getting my master's degree in writing, and I kept meeting all these people in Belize, where I was doing some studying and teaching my teaching practicum.
Oh, cool.
And I kept thinking this would make a great film, how could I make this happen? And I didn't have the money for it. But with documentaries, you can go and do it. And so I took my cousin, Juliet, who's also she's a videographer, and she works now in Maine. And she was really game to do it. And she did the sound, and I don't know if she'd done a long form film at that point, but we just kind of thought of it as an adventure, and over 10 days interviewed 2 people a day, and I had a film. But that film landed on me,
Mm-hmm.
And same with Fool's Paradise Lost. I was going through some of my own kind of life crises, and the only place that I was finding solace was out in nature. I was feeling very disequilibrated, and I just couldn't quite get to a place of balance that when I would get out into the natural world, where I lived in Marin at the time, there's just endless beautiful hikes. You can, find places to be completely alone. And that's really what I needed. And I would just equilibrate. And I thought, there's something to this, So it began to germinate. And then I stumbled upon John Francis. He was a guest Dharma talk leader and meditation leader at Spirit Rock, which is this meditation center in Northern California, where I was going on Monday nights to study with Jack Kornfield and to hear his Dharma talk and meditation. But there was John Francis, and he was kind of my aha, like this is a guy that represents this story that I need to tell, And little by little, once you start putting it out there and you start thinking about it, it can become reality,
Mhm.
But I had to make it, basically.
How long did you spend making this documentary?
Yeah. Fool's Paradise Lost took me 5 years, but it went through COVID. I had just released The Lure of This Land at its world premiere in 2019 in October, and then 2020 came. And we all know what happened then. Everything shut down. And I had just met John Francis in the beginning of 2020. And so I had to wait a couple of years to get to interview him. Went to Cape May to interview him.
Did you edit the project as well?
No, I don't edit.
Okay.
I do not edit. I save that for my extremely talented co-storyteller and editor, Linda Peckham. She's going to edit she edited Fool's Paradise Lost as well. And she's going to edit my next film. So, yeah.
Cool. That's great.
Couldn't do it.
So when you travel, do you have because you operate your own camera and stuff, do you have much of a crew, or are you kind of like a one-woman show? How does that work for you?
I did have someone come with me to do he did mostly the interviews on the last film. And like I said, I had my cousin Juliet Sutherland come with me for The Lure of This Land. I always want to have some other sounding board entity, but, also visual artist or, someone to do the sound. So except when I went to Africa, I couldn't afford to bring somebody. So I did everything, I just used a shot mic and got my Sony SLR out there and, did everything because that's what I had to do,
Mm-hmm. And how did you kind of learn that craft? How did this come about, your passion for filmmaking?
Yeah, that's a longer story, but I started out, I have come up through the arts. The matriarchy that kind of brought me into the arts is artists and musicians mostly. And I wanted to be a singer, dancer, actress when I was pretty young and a writer. And I did a little bit of all those things. And I got my start as an actress, actually. I moved to Hawaii when I left home at 15. And a neighbor said, we should go to these, commercial calls. And I went on them and I got the jobs pretty readily. I was pretty irreverent and also kind of girl next door. And so I got a lot of work, and then when I went to college, I studied literature and dramatic arts at Whitman College in Washington State. And that just kept feeding that kind of creativity that led me to eventually become a producer. I moved to Hollywood many times, but, originally trying to be an actress. I was signed to CAA at one point until they told me to lose 10 pounds and cut my hair. And I was like, I don't want to think about what I look like all the time. It's exhausting and not so great psychologically. I was really becoming aware of the effect that it had on me psychologically. So I stopped acting, essentially started working my way up into production. And this was probably about the third or fourth time I'd moved back to LA, and I got work as an assistant to directors and producers. And we were doing a lot of TV movies at the time. Mm-hmm. And I worked for John Patterson, who was an A-list television director. He did the pilots and some of the series for Hill Street Blues and The Sopranos. And then we had a development deal at NBC, and I became his director of development. Then I began working for RKO Pictures. And at RKO, I was a production executive. We had a film there that we were waiting to get made because we were attaching actors to try and get financing. We had Adam Humbert attached. He was Jodie Foster's. He was in Jodie Foster's directorial debut, but he wasn't really financeable. And so I had worked on a film as a photo double for Andie MacDowell, so I knew Olympia Dukakis because she was in that film. And I thought she would be perfect for this role. This kind of like elderly woman who had lost her husband, but was kind of flirting around with this elderly guy who ended up being Leslie Nielsen from
Oh, funny.
Adam from the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah.
It was a Canadian content film, so he was also Canadian, by the way. So, and I was the only producer on the film, but that wasn't Canadian. But anyways, to get back to the story, so Olympia Dukakis, I met with her. She loved the story, really wanted the script to be kind of updated and her character to be updated and made groovy. And I went back to RKO and they said, oh, we don't have the money to do it. And I was like, it's Olympia Dukakis. She's an award-winning actress. I'll rewrite the script. If she gets attached because of my rewrite, then I'm a producer on the film. Okay, great. She loved my rewrite. She got attached. I didn't get a rewrite credit, by the way, but I became a producer. And basically, I was babysitting actors and doing all the creative stuff on the film and casting and helping get the crew in place with another producer, Rob McLean. And he was the Canadian producer and also the one who got all the financing in place. And yeah, so that's how I became a producer.
Cool. What was the name of that film?
Digger.
Yeah. Okay.
That was in the 90s.
Awesome. And if people want to follow along with your journey with Fool's Paradise Lost, where might they find a website or social media?
Yeah, we have a website. It's foolsparadiselost.com. And then my website, lexproductions.net, that has all my stuff on it, including links to how you can rent The Lure of This Land and follow Fool's Paradise Lost. But the best way to stay up to date, I think, aside from signing up for my email list at lexproductions.net, is Instagram. And follow me on Instagram. I'm LexProd, LEXPROD.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, thanks for this conversation, Alexandra or Lex. Do you go by Lex or Alexandra?
Alex. People call me Alex. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on today. And I'm certainly going to try to check out your film. I'm sure we'll have the links below, guys. Follow along and keep your ears and eyes out for Fool's Paradise Lost.
Yeah, and the next ones.
Yeah. Do you have something else coming out soon? Or like in the works?
I was hired to make someone else's film, actually.
Cool.
And the working title is Tamarin. I'm not going to go into the storyline yet because we're still sort of developing it. So that's my next project, but my passion project is Flower Child, flowerchildthefilm.com, and I'm raising funding for that right now. We've raised a bit, and we're trying to get to our mark, and I'm trying to get actors attached to that. So flowerchildthefilm.com is really my
follow the links and go on a journey and find out more. All right. Well, thank you so much, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a wonderful day. And so do you guys. Have a wonderful day. Cut. This podcast is brought to you by brwdigital.com, a video production company based in Santa Fe, servicing the needs of businesses and content creators worldwide. brwdigital.com.
How's it going, guys? My name is Oliver Dixon. I'm a first-time filmmaker. I'm from Washington State. Today we're going to be talking about balance. We're going to be talking about bananas and how you make your first documentary.
I love bananas. They're great. They're good for you. That's all we're going to talk about as far as bananas go. The rest is all on you, David.
Oliver.
Shit! It's a program for filmmakers by filmmakers. It's the Breaking Indie Podcast. Yeah, you got to do your vocal warm-ups before we go. Yeah, do it with me.
Yep.
That's great. All right, cool. All right, Oliver, everybody, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
what's up, Oliver?
What's up?
Welcome to the Breaking Indie Podcast. Happy to have you here. You have a film that's playing called Sky.
That's right.
This is a documentary short film.
That's right. It's my first ever.
First ever. First time filmmaker.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. How did that come about?
Well, I'm a college student, and I had been really committed to being an athlete. I was playing soccer for my school, and I started taking film classes as kind of like easy credits. And then I started taking them so seriously, and school became super easy. And like I took a filmmaking class, like fell in love with it, and then I took a documentary class the following semester, and we had basically a whole semester to make a short doc. And I was like, okay, like I'm like so into this. I think the whole process I was learning, but I was also like wanting to be the best the whole
That is how I got through high school, elementary school, high school, and college. Was like, can I make this a film project? Then
Yeah.
okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually done like math since junior year of high school. Everything else is,
I actually, yeah, me neither. Yeah.
so I'm really stupid, but I can make a picture.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What school do you go to?
I go to Whitman College. It's a small liberal arts school in Walla Walla, Washington.
I'm familiar. We
Yeah.
have a lot of Washington people at this festival.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
from
met a
Washington.
couple. Oh, really?
I love it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you're probably the fourth that I've met so
Yeah.
in the last 2 days.
I met a couple others. Yeah, it's cool.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So are you still at Whitman?
Yes, I graduated in May.
Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your first film. Like, it's pretty cool to have it into a festival and you came down here all the way here. Like, that's great, man.
Yeah,
For you.
I got into this festival. I had never been to Santa Fe. I had been in one other one, which was in Portland, so it was a little closer, but I really wanted to come here, and I like begged my school to cover the trip, and they gave me some money.
So you made an entire documentary about clouds. Wow, this is fascinating.
No, Sky is one of my friends I go to school with. Her full name is Lindsay, but her Indigenous name is Sky, so she chooses to go by that more often, especially from people who are close to her. And that's kind of like where the title came from, is the film's about balancing her Indigenous culture and preserving her Indigenous culture while going to a Western school and wanting to pursue like a Western career. Like she wants to be a lawyer, she wants to go to like graduate school, all that. And so, you know, the name thing is like, everyone calls her Lindsay, but like she wants to go by Sky, because it's like that choice of like choosing your Indigenous identity, even though you're pursuing this Western career.
Yeah, and kind of making your own path.
Right.
You know, not letting the world build that
Yeah.
confinement for you.
It's like taking the parts of life that you like the most and like holding them super close to you. Yeah.
So what were some of the challenges for you being a first-time filmmaker tackling this project? I know it was a school project,
Yeah.
but what were some of the things that you kind of found yourself juggling?
Well, I think the main thing was just the access to things that I now learn most filmmakers have, mainly money, resources. I had one camera, I had an audio, like a field recorder and a lav mic. And I worked on it with 2 other people, but you know, when you have a group project at school, there's always complications. It's hard to find times where all 3 of you can sort of do the same thing. So a lot of the footage was me with all the gear driving my truck, which is my grandfather's truck, which barely runs, 45 minutes out of town to go film her, like, you know, whether it's dancing out in the wheat fields or at home on the reservation, like just getting there. And actually like I have to set aside hours of my day to travel, to set up everything by myself, to like figure out how to wear the recorder and hold the camera, like all at the same time.
I hate to discourage you, but that might not always change.
Yeah.
I drove my 20-year-old van here. There is no crew. I'm 37. I still do it the same way sometimes. Just because, you know, you just got to roll with the punches. You got to do what you got to do.
I will say
for you.
I learned. I definitely learned. And now I can say I can, you know, make something on my own.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
What would be some of the advice that you might share with somebody who is perhaps about to do what you just did?
I think that the thing that helped the most was I understood the story I wanted to tell. I think that a lot of times in documentary filmmaking, the story gets revealed as you're filming. And that definitely did still happen. Like there was layers of the story that I didn't predict would come up, and it was really cool to kind of see those arise. But I had a personal connection with the story. I mean, I'm friends with her. I knew from just conversations with her in the library, like doing homework together, what she was going through and what it was like for her. And I would say that is what made the difference for finding the story, was really learning about it before I picked up the camera and before I started, trying to make a documentary about it. I wanted to at least understand, a little bit what was going on before I started.
Do you think you'll be doing this again?
Yeah. I think I've been doing a mix of, since this documentary, I've really only done either like, I guess they're just travel videos on my own where I'm like shooting on my phone and color grading and editing, and like that's been really fun. I've also done a couple of narrative projects for school, but I haven't had a project that I've been able to put as much time into as this one, but I definitely want to go back to it. And I actually want to follow up with Sky, as she's 1 year below me in school. So after I graduate, I want to go back and follow her through her senior year as she like takes that next step from like being a student to going out into the world.
That's great. As you should. Please do.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think also my skills are a little better, so it might look a little better.
It's a journey. The film takes its own journey.
That's right.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Congrats. Well, do you is there a social media page for this that you want to include?
No, I don't have social media.
Great. Good.
I don't believe in it.
It's fine.
But
I love that for anyone.
Yeah. But I have, I can give my email and people can reach out.
Whatever you want. You have the floor, so to speak.
Well, I think that eventually there'll be a website and I'll have some of my work on there. So
all right. Solid.
At some point that'll end up in the world.
All right. Well, in the meantime, enjoy your success being here. These little achievements, you just got to just soak it in.
Yeah. That's good.
Because you put in a lot of work to get here, and here we are. So
yeah.
Well done.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And thank you, listeners. Stay tuned. We got more coming your way. After this, probably a sponsored ad. Probably not. I don't know. I don't really know. I just make it up as we go. Stick around. Find out.